Hello, everybody. This is Deborah Walker here to talk to you today about process theories of motivation. In lesson 5, our discussion asks us to read case number 5, It Isn't Fair, from our organizational behavior textbook by Yulbein et al. 2015 to try to figure out which motivational theory best applies to the case. Now, process theories of motivation focus on how our thoughts and decision-making tendencies influence and motivate our behavior. So to understand which motivational theory we're dealing with here, I'll just give you a brief recap of what happened in the case. So Mary was a recent college graduate, and she had great credentials, and she was hired by Universal Products for an unnamed position for a salary of 40 grand a year. Now, she worked very hard at her job, and she often put in overtime and generally went over and above the call of duty. She even went to Costa Rica as part of a team to try to solve a quality control issue. And of course, her efforts were lauded by everybody. And she got great reviews. She was well liked by her teammates. She got glowing reports from management. And she obviously had a great deal of intrinsic motivation. So after a year of doing an outstanding job, her manager gave her a great performance review and a 10% raise. Now, Mary was pretty happy with the outcome of her review, and she practically bragged to her co-worker Sue, that it went really well and that Universal was a great company. She was glad to work there and so on and so forth. Well, that's when Sue agreed. It's a great company, and she blurted out that she couldn't believe that they started her at a salary of 45 grand a year. Now, at that point, Mary became upset and she stormed off saying, "It isn't fair." So Mary's case is a classic example of Victor Vroom's expectancy theory, that is, until she spoke with Sue. Now, according to Yulbein 2015, et al. 2015, Vroom's theory explains that motivation is determined by individual beliefs regarding effort and performance relationships and work outcomes. Furthermore, a person will be motivated by 3 factors, and they're all related. One is expectancy, the next is instrumentality, and valence. Now, motivation, let's apply that to Mary. Motivation, equals expectancy times instrumentality and valence. That's the equation for motivation. So if you apply it to Mary, as far as expectancy goes, Mary expected her efforts would result in acceptable job performance. If she felt she couldn't do the job, her expectancy would be 0, but it wasn't. The probability of her achieving a certain level of performance was very high because she knew she was capable. Instrumentality, Mary believed that her outstanding performance would lead to various work outcomes. And valence, Mary attached a high value to her work outcome and expected to be rewarded for it. Now, after a review, she was initially satisfied and felt that she was rewarded fairly for her efforts. Now, until she found out about Sue making more money from the get-go. After that, her motivation became low because she felt that she was not rewarded equitably in relation to her efforts. Now, at this point, it seems as if the equity theory is also at play here, since equity theory, according to Yulbein et al. 2015, is a comparison of rewards received relative to efforts made to the rewards received by others relative to their efforts made. So at first, she found out her raise was higher than most of the other employees, but she may have had some degree of felt positive inequity. But when you examine the situation closely, it's evident that she put into her job more effort than the others. So she rationalized that her effort was higher and therefore the reward was fair. But when she spoke to Sue and found out that Sue's starting pay was a lot higher than hers, that's when she experienced the felt negative inequity, and she felt under-rewarded in relation to Sue. And so the inequity motivated her to set out to correct it and restore the balance and fairness in her situation. Thanks.